343 on the 22nd. Stella's over there snoring her head off. She's not right under me. She's over there, though. So she's snoring her head off, though. Oh, and Max has been up puking. It's like, oh, my God. But everything, I'm like doing all of the things that I can think of to do. So I don't even know. I'm going to, every time that I do horse pace, he stops puking for a while. And so the last time I did it, and then I took a certain amount of days, and then I did it again. So I'm going to go get some more and do it again and see. Maybe that's the thing, you know, when you get a dog from a rescue or a shelter, you have no idea what their history is. I have no idea. And then, I don't know. I know a lot of people are still really reliant on this fake-ass medical system we have. But it's just like, I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and gotten nowhere. So it's just like, I don't know, very resistant to that because it doesn't seem like it's deadly. I mean, he's still been going, like he's been with me now. I think he's been with me 2 years. Like, I don't know. I'd have to look it up when I got him, but I mean, I've been here in this garage. It's going on 9 months. In September, to be 9 months. I came in the very beginning of January. Is there something? I don't know. My eyes are always, it always looks like there's something. Oh, yeah, because yesterday it was like I was seeing, but I think it was the window I was looking out of. But it was weird because it looked like there was 2 of each thing. It was so weird looking. I don't know if it's just this world is being, because it looked like a normal window. So, I don't know. This world's weird as shit. That's what I do know. Like, that's for show. Hold on. And my 4th cup of tea because I've been out for hours. So, let's see. Yesterday's weird, but every day's weird. Now I'm kind of feeling like, I don't know that I want to go in the lake because I kind of feel like, is that when I got, last night, I went and dog washed yesterday. And it seems like, oh, dog washing, that's not that hard. Sitting there shampooing dog, it's hard. It's hard. It is like a workout. And you're carrying, some of these dogs are little chunks, but they fucking wrestle you. And you're like, hell no, they don't. And then you got to blow them dry. So first you got to bend over in this shampoo bowl thing. And then you got to scrub them down. And you're wrestling that whole time. And then my throat is just like still, I got to clear it every fucking 5 minutes. So you got to wrestle them to wash them. Then you got to get them out, take them over, and then you got to dry them. You got to get them completely dry and get all the hair separated so that the groomer can see where the hair, because this is what I've learned about grooming, which she still wants me to go and learn more. She wants me to get more, and she's older. I think, you know, if that were the direction I were to go, I think that she would bring me on as a groomer, and I would, you know, start grooming her people, and then it would naturally go over and I would become the groomer. But I don't think I'm going to be staying here. I mean, it's a great opportunity for somebody, but I don't think I'm going to be staying here. The door that may be opening, we'll see. I'll know more, like I said, in a couple weeks, but I'm getting super excited about it. I'm getting really excited. It's like, at first when I heard it, I was like, oh, you know, like, well, yeah, I'll go through a door when it opens. But it was like, well, where does it lead? Where does it lead? But all of a sudden, asking the question, then I just saw it's like, oh, I see the vision now. It's like, oh, hell yeah. So anyways, we'll see how it goes. But I feel super excited about it. But it's not here. It would be leaving this area, which I had been thinking, you know, I was going to do the whole time. It's so funny too, because I'm out from Spokane, In Spokane, I was there for, well, how long have I been here? Like, I don't know. I lived in Spokane, like, because I lived over on the west side for like 6 years or something. And then I lived over here for like 25 years. And 3 husbands, a lot of dates. So, anyways, it's just like, and different people's friends and stuff like that. It's like, God, I just don't want to go out and run into anybody. It's like, ugh. And then plus, you know, I worked here. Like, there's just a lot where it's just like, I don't want to run into anybody. It's just like, it's just kind of like you grow out of a place. It's like I've already lived out the experience. Now I'm done with that experience. I'm ready for a new experience. So being out like this, which I'm really into living rural now, which I used to think of myself as very much a city person, and now I'm very much a rural person. Get me further from the city and I'm good. Because I don't know, cities are just like the rat race of, it's like the ghetto of where they want to try and keep us, and it just is getting worse and worse and worse. So anyways, and Spokane's small, but that's the problem, is it's small enough that you run into people. And my daughter was over here, and she's like, man, I wouldn't want to come back to Spokane. It just, like, the whole time you just feel like you're going to run into somebody. I was like, oh, I know. It's like, when you don't want to be running into people, when that part of your life feels like it's closed, then it's like, yeah, I know exactly. It's like, no, I don't want to run into old memories. Hold on, let me finish this. And I'm glad today I don't have shit to do. But anyways, on this dog washing thing, it is work. It is not. So I'm like, oh, that's simple. No, it's hard. Go try and wash your dog. Oh, my nose is running. It's, and then I came home and washed Stella, like I said. And I was like, oh, she doesn't stink. She stinks again. I'm going to wash her again. But see, she's got her stank ass going. Max has got his puke situation going. And it's just like, man, I just don't know. But I just can keep doing natural stuff. And Stella, I'm giving her yeast pills. Her turkey tail. I always give her my tea. And I made oregano oil. So I'm giving her oregano oil. Will put some black seed oil in sometimes, some colloidal silver, what all things? Different things, different supplements or whatever, trying to, the horse paste. God dang. I swear to God, it's nonstop spraying and stuff. And then plus going into the lake where I was like, man, am I absorbing a bunch of stuff in my skin? But coming home like last night, and I was sitting here, and it was just like, I felt like bugs were all over me again. And it's like, I wonder if it's something in the lake. And then I'm just feeling it, like your body feels more, the sensations. And this is one thing too, that one lady that I was talking about in the QHHT that Allison co-posted, she also said, besides the food changing, work changing, everything changing, she said sleep patterns change. And she said, you don't sleep the same. You don't go to bed and sleep like 8 hours. You just like take little naps. You just go sleep for a while, you get up, do stuff. You go sleep for a while, get up and do stuff. And I had said that I had been having that happen. And so what made me think of was some of the things where you think like, you know, God, what is it going on with me? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? Why is my body rejecting food? Why is my body sleeping weird? You know, all these different things. I think it's like the precursor. It's like getting you ready. It's like you're getting ready for the changes. So anyways, you know, that still is more go with the flow. Go and just go with the flow of how you're changing. Don't try and force it and be like, well, and it's hard if you're still working to have to be able to just sleep when you're tired, and then get up when you're not tired, eat when you're hungry, and you know, our life becomes so scheduled in this rat race ghetto world that they created. So, and now, besides that one doctor saying that every disease comes from a lack of minerals and too much toxins, then now Artist is saying the same thing. He's out saying that every sickness comes from a lack of minerals. If you got any kind of issue and you're not eating vegetables, which, you know, I mean, they have GMO'd the fuck out of all the vegetables, so you're not getting the same nutrition. That's why you got to supplement. That's why you got to figure out ways to get the minerals in you, because they are doing everything against you to take them out, and that's what you need in order to survive. And so, oh yeah, and I saw another person talking to their chat GPT. She's really in on this, because I've seen her videos a few times. She's really in on this aging thing and how it's not real. And she said, so she was asking it, you know, if you start believing it's not real and you stop going into aging and all of that stuff, then the chat GPT said, yeah, you're breaking the program, so it will no longer occur. So as long as you don't believe it, it will stop happening. And so anything that happens to you is because you believe it's happening to you. So, and seeing all the programs that you're breaking are all a development stage. You don't just do it overnight. And you will have tests. There'll be tests that will come up. I just saw this girl. She was talking about, she did some session with this girl. And this girl was talking about her dad being super negative. And so she was talking to the higher self. So it must have been a QHHT thing or something, some kind of thing like that. Because she was talking to the higher self. And then she said, the higher self said, the reason that somebody seems negative to you is because you are changing. You were as negative as them. You just didn't realize it. And then when you start changing, you start seeing all the issues. So that's one reason why, you know, as you are changing, why all this stuff sticks out. Like why all these people seem crazy. Why everybody seems like just whacked out. It's because you're changing. And but Crystal had said, her husband said, I don't think that there's an increase in this family, and or, you know, this with kids or whatever, kids being killed or killing or something. I'm not sure. But I say there definitely, to me, I think there's an increase. I think there's more of it. I think people are definitely losing it more. Like this one, I shared the videos. I don't know who this lady was. And but everybody's just like really over like this situation, this story, because so she was all over TikTok talking about her, I don't know how many followers she had, but she was all over the place on TikTok. And so she was influencing some people on something, so whatever, TikTok influencer. So she her husband had brain cancer, and some severe kind of brain cancer or something, which my brother has a severe one. But everything is, I swear to God, we have so much more control in our lives than we have been led to believe. But so anyways, he's super sick. They got 3 kids, like an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old or something. And she's super depressed. She just can't handle it. She can't handle him being sick. She can't handle the kids being sad, like a whole thing. So she gets really depressed. And so she stops fixing herself. She stops getting dressed, whatever, because there's a video where she said, you know, that she's trying to get back with it and get back into going and socializing with people and talking to people and getting herself showered and all that stuff. And right after she did that video, she went the other direction. And she annihilated the family. And so she was one of the ones that I had heard where there was 4 people who were gone, and there was a little infant or toddler in there. It was hers. So she, her husband, her two, get the 8-year-old and the 11-year-old and herself, and left the 3-year-old to fend for themselves. And eventually there was a welfare check done, and they came and found this 3-year-old in this house with all these dead people. And so everybody's really upset about the whole thing. There's another one at the same time, a dad, and he, you know, by all appearances, was a great dad with a happy family, all these pictures, you know, them on vacation or whatever, being all happy. Whatever happened, his wife and his 2 kids and himself. It's just, it keeps going and going and going. I think there's way more of this stuff. And it's just kind of, it's kind of like it always happened, but it was like the dark side of humanity. And so it's like the purge of it. It's like all of that energy is being purged out. So there's an increase of it. There's way more of it. And so, anyways, I think there's more. I think there's way more of all of the stuff. All of the stuff that we consider to be negative and bad, I think is all increased. So, anyways, you know, you can't just force somebody out of being depressed. Everything is, you have to save yourself, and when you can't, then you never were going to. Like, it's not like it's not like that wouldn't have happened if he wouldn't have got cancer and she wouldn't have got depressed. No, the life that they have was always going to play out the way it played out. People are so stuck on these ideas. Well, if he just wouldn't have gone right, if that just wouldn't happen, if that just wouldn't happen. Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. That's just the way it is. And you are here to experience whatever it is. And the role is you, the character, and how you experience what happens. And it's all a range of things. It's not just there's one goal and we all try and reach the same goal. It's because all of our different souls' stories are different. And so, you know, whatever she did, there's going to be, the lessons don't stop because she's gone out. Like, our lessons are linked through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And so it forms you into who you are by all of your different lives you've lived, not just this one. I always thought it was kind of funny is how there was always this nurture versus nature. Like, people thought everything about them comes from this. It's like, yo, you try and even figure it out, nature versus nurture. And you try and figure out, like, it's so obvious that you're so much more than this life. You're so much more than this period of time. Like, you bring forth your fears. You bring forth these certain aspects of your identity. And it has to do with what you're here to experience. And what you're here to experience has to do with how your lessons line up. It's like that you have all these different things that you're learning, and it's a part of the rotation of what it is. It's not, I don't know, it's so weird because people think things are so like accidental and things could change, and oh, you could have died. You can't could have died. You can either die or you don't die. It's not you could have. It's when those could have moments happen, those miracles, it's because it's a part of your journey. It's a part of your lessons. It's a part of something was going to wake you up to something at that period of time so that you went in a new direction. Because when you have miracles happen or you survive something that a lot of people don't, it changes you. Believe you me. And so it changes your life. And so that's what it's about. It's about putting you in a new direction. It's about changing gears. It's about shifting gears, shifting you in a different direction. So it's nothing happens by accident. Everything is very purposeful. I think that is a big thing that people should wrap their heads around in this world. And I think it can help people get on a totally different track when they realize, like, you don't have control, and everything that happens is meant to happen exactly the way it happens. And so when you see these situations like this woman, you know, take out her whole family except this one poor kid now, and I don't know the extended family situation, but still, how many days was this kid in this house with everybody being dead? 3-year-old, I think, knows a little bit. I mean, there's a story I just heard yesterday that is so, oh my God, I can't even believe it. This woman, so her 2-year-old is having a play date with this other 2-year-old. That's, I don't know, it's not just a neighbor, because they live in apartments, and it's in another apartment complex. So I don't know how they know each other or whatever. But so she has this 2-year-old kid come over to play with her 2-year-old. Well, her 2-year-old is getting all upset and coming and asking her questions and talking about sex while the other kid's upstairs. And she's like, what are you talking about? Why are you even saying that? And so her kid goes back upstairs to play with this kid. So her mom goes up and is listening at the door. And so she hears this other 2-year-old saying, yeah, she finally had sex with her crush. And he put his potty wank or his piddly wank or some weird word for his penis in her. And, you know, the best day of her life. She's so excited and they're so close and all this stuff. And the mom is just like, what? And so she calls the mom and she says, your kid is over here saying all this stuff. And this mom is just like, I don't know. She's not concerned one bit. She didn't give a shit. And the lady starts questioning the kid and starts asking the kid questions. And so she finds out it's her 10-year-old cousin is her crush that's doing the piddlywank or whatever the hell. And so now they've done it. And this little girl is real excited. And she's very cocky, this kid. Like she's throwing her head back and don't even ask me, don't tell me. It's like, geez, what in the hell? 2 years old? Like, I got grandkids right now, they're 2, and they're just, like, kind of figuring out how to converse with you. Like, you got to try and catch on to what they're saying. And so it's like, man, are these kids, like, a little closer to 3? Like, what? And, but the woman, she's going through this whole story, trying to tell this mom. The mom's completely resistant and kind of defensive. And the lady, and she's like, your kid's not coming back over here. Your kid is, no, it's over. And the woman's all defensive and stuff. Doesn't seem to be concerned that this 10-year-old cousin is piddlywanking her 2-year-old. And so the lady who's telling the story, she says she's calling the CPS. And which, that's a thing too, is like there is, in this state of being, as humans, there is a need for this overseers, these overseeing organizations, but it's ran by, you know, the child of Roth and the fellers that rock. So they are negative controllers who try and suck the life out of us and give more and more darkness, because, you know, for how perverted and how weird our world has become, you'd think that the brakes would be put on to over-sexualized shows, all of the stuff, that it would be like, well, we're not putting that out there anymore because people get kooky. But no, they just put out more. So they want more of that. They want more dysfunction in this world because it feeds a negative energy that that there's beings that feed off of it. And so, however it's done, I'm not sure, because there's different speculation over how it's done. I always kind of saw it as just like these energies around you sucking out of the negativity. But there's that one person I saw a video talking about these big black boxes that suck the energy, and then it like puts it out for these beings to, dude, get it off of, and he was saying one was at Wall Street, one's at the Vatican, one's, it's all the church in the ground. Church in the ground has always been the hands of control. And the people who are back there puppeting it are not the people who we think they are. It's these other people, like the Fellers at Rock, the Child of, and those people come from some kind of ancient bloodlines, which I just heard this other one. God dang it. Fucking hell. As I share this other one, and I've said for a long time that these people are always looking for certain people, and I think they're looking for certain people that they fear over the changing the vibration, for sure. The people who have more awareness or whatever, more telepathic abilities that are in communication. So it's kind of like, people like me who they try and disrupt the communication, but because they don't want people like me who have this, it's like talking to the radio tower. They want to interfere so that they can control the conversation. But there's people like me who can speak directly to the radio controller, and then the radio controller gives the information, and then you share the information. It's just nowadays people are more receptive to the information. I've been sharing it for the whole time. Just people weren't receptive. But the I know that they didn't want that. I know they were looking for that. That's part of their gate program, all those things, like all about trying to mind control people and stuff. So I know they were looking for that, but I know there's other people who their guides were or helping them dodge the people who were looking, but they were also looking for bloodlines. And so I just heard this one who was talking about in the book of one of the books that they took out of that biblical time thing, because it was redone. I know King James did it, but I don't know how many times it's been redone. The Name of the Rose to me was what I saw way back, where I was like, oh, I knew that fucking book was full of bullshit. But anyways, but you can watch that movie if you can find it. I would imagine you still could. And you had Christian Slater and Sean Connery. I don't know who all, but it's an older movie. But it shows about them editing the Bible. And so and there's all these people talk about the missing books. And so this is one of the books that was missing. I don't remember which one, who it is, Peter or something. And but he's talking about the Mary Magdalene, and that she was in the books. She was his partner or something, whatever, companion or something, which it was translated like his partner, his wife, whatever. So she and him went around and spread the word of how to, whatever the word they were spreading, how to connect into yourself, how to heal yourself, basically, by connecting into the spiritual world. So they were doing these works together. And then they took Jesus and hung him up and killed him. And she was pregnant. So she took off and ran, and she went to France and blended in where people didn't know who she was. But she started a whole bloodline with coming from her and Jesus. I can't remember what the bloodline's called, but it was always kind of hidden in France, but it was this gifted, all-knowing kind of bloodline thing. And so, because that's the whole thing, is like they don't want people in here who know or have communication or any of that kind of stuff. So that was another thing, I guess. They've been looking for certain bloodlines. So they've always been trying to keep control of the narrative and keep the intruders out that were going to disrupt their control over the masses. And but it's also a storyline. It's a movie, and so it's just roles that people come in and play. So it's not like, you know, because some of the people are being tricked, that they're just dumbasses. It's just a part of the storyline. And so just remember that everything is stories. It's just like movies. And the characters in movies aren't the characters in the movie. They are a different character. They're playing a character. And that's the same thing as what this is. So you can't just sit there and look at it and say, well, those people are gifted and these people are dumbasses. No, it's just the roles to play out the storyline. Everybody can't be the same role. And so, and your role has to do with what it is that you are learning or whatever. And just like I was saying, is like that woman. So it seems like, well, she just did her whole family, and what's she gonna, you know, it's all over. No, it's not. And you have a whole thing where you have to go. What you put out goes with you. You can't put something out like that, then it's just gone. And you just leave and it's over. No. You got to go and you got to re-experience it. And in the re-experiencing it, it changes your perspective. Like, you know, like somebody does something like that, they have so much regret once they get over there. And that to me is like the trapping into purgatory. Like, you don't go forward. You don't go out of this vibration of learning. So it's just another step in your development. So you leave this world, which is hard and overwhelming. Then you go, however you leave, if you're leaving by your own hand, because all these are going to be a whole bunch of people who are going to leave by their own hand. And it's part of the story. It's part of how things played out, because you got to look at the story from the other side. How did mankind get there? Well, let's look at the story. So that's what's happening. We're in the story right now. But there's a story. There's a history. We're just in the history right now. But when the people leave, they go to another realm that is not considered just like the heavens, where everything is just great and snap your finger and you're there. It is, it's a space of more healing and growth. So it's like a space of reflection. It's like a looking at yourself in a deeper level, because you got to look at it from other people's perspective. And so I think it is a space that is full of regret and pain still, but not on the level of this one where it's being acted out. But that is where you feel the impact of the choices you've made, where these people think like, well, nobody's watching. I can do this. I can do that. Well, you're going to feel the impact. Believe you me, it's not something you just get away with. You go to the next level and you get there, and that is the motivation of trying to fix it. That's why you have ancestors around you and stuff. You have people around you, because they are a part of the, you know, they want to fix things they've done. They want to help. They want to, it's a whole thing. So it's kind of like all those people, they're in this realm. They aren't just, I mean, it depends on what their vibration is, if they can go back and forth. It depends on if they mastered what they came to master in that realm, but they can still come back. But that is kind of the realm also of like where you think of like you go in dreams and stuff. Last night's dreams were so fucking weird. Oh my God. I don't even know how to explain them. But it's like, I swear to God, it's like you're having lessons be taught to you in like these parables or these fables or something. Like you're being shown things somehow, but it's, the story is to show you and teach you things. This one last night, I don't even know the whole thing. It was so long too. It was, man, all these dreams. It's like I go to bed, I go into these like the shifting of trying to understand these things, and then it starts playing it out, and then it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. It's like you're being taught through motion pictures, just like what this is on another level. Everything's micro macro. So your dreams are very micro macro of what this world is, of learning and teaching and stuff. It's the way I look at it. And so, but in this dream, there's one weird thing that was just so fucking weird, is there was a dolphin up in a tree. and I was trying to get it help. And so I'm like calling and trying to tell like 911 or whatever, like there's a dolphin in a tree. We got to hurry. We got to get this dolphin out of this tree. It's going to die. I don't know how it got there. And then I'm like, in my mind, I'm questioning, like, how did it get here? Did a wave of water come? Did it fly out of the air? Like, how did this dolphin get in the tree? And then it starts being like, this dolphin is there to teach this person. It's like this whole long weird thing. It was so fucking weird. I don't even know. It was just all over the place. But there was such a significant thing about this dolphin in this tree. This dolphin was in this tree most of my dream, and it was long as fuck. So anyway, it was weird. But in these realms of dreaming, that is a realm of existence. And so that is why people can astral travel, lucid dream. That's why people become aware in their dreams and start interacting. And that's where the dream state or the astral realm is also policed by the men in black or whatever the overseers have people who have abilities that they did get control of, and then they put them out there to police these realms, because that's another thing they look for is people who are traveling outside of their body and people who are lucid dreaming. So they're looking for these certain kind of people that have these abilities and these awarenesses and stuff. They're always looking for them. And that's who the people are who are even doing the job, are people that were already caught. And so anyways, so that is a realm that is learning and experience too. This is a realm of learning and experience. That's a realm of learning and experience. When you die, you just pass and go to another realm. So you just leave one realm, go to another realm. And that realm is one where you experience the impact of you and the other life that you lived. And so that's why there's this whole thing with this life review, so that you go in and you have to review everything that happened, because you're gonna see it different than when you saw it when you were there, because your emotions and your pain and suffering and all that have such an impact on your choices. And so that's why you don't want to just judge yourself. And that's why you have life after life after life, because it helps you to gain control of yourself and not be so overwhelmed by your like your roles, your state of existence, your emotions and stuff like that. The more that you can pull free from those chains that bind you, the more you can pull into your soul, into yourself, then the more well, it's like you change the game. And so like, you don't go do things because nobody's watching. You know, like, there's an impact coming. I'm no fucking way. I'm going to follow my morals. I'm going to follow my integrity. I'm not going to just go do things. I'm not going to hurt other people because I'm going to have to face that shit. Well, the reason why some people know that is because we've experienced it. And so, and everybody experiences it, but after a while, it starts really sinking in. You know, it depends on, I mean, like this thing that this woman did, this could be her big sink in moment of like, oh my God, but you have to clean it up. You still have, even though the people come in and play the parts to have this occur, there is still it's like you are under construction all the time. And so you are still needing to go in and reestablish yourself, fix yourself, get things back in balance. And then you got to correct the entanglements that you create, because on the bigger picture, you still take away somebody else's opportunity to exist, opportunity to live. Even though it's like contracted in, you're still disrupting something. And so it's weird because it's so convoluted, it's so entangled, because but that is a part of like why you got to get out of this concept of judgment, and things don't happen the way they're supposed to happen. Everything happens the way they're supposed to happen. But there's also lessons and opportunities to see yourself in a different way by the things happening. So that woman, say, you know, she does her family in like that. She goes, she passes, and this was something, and I've said this before, but I just thought it was really, because this is more real. It was the somebody on the Columbine thing, and I can't remember, it was something being channeled or something. I don't remember, because I heard this a long, long time ago. But so those two boys were in there, just all those people. And it was one of the worst, you know, because it was one of the first ones that was so bad. And so it was really, really horrible. And that, I think it was Dylan, when he did himself in, that all of the, it makes me so emotional every time I say it, no matter how many times I say it, is, so when he did himself in, and he came out, that all of the people were there waiting for him, but they weren't. God, it makes me emotional. They weren't waiting for him because they were angry. They were waiting because they were being supportive. Because it's like they knew how the painful impact, once you come out, of what you're going to feel like what you've done. Once you see what you've done, there's a huge impact. And so they all gathered around him out of support, not out of anger and hate. Because, I don't know, I mean, you just got to see it or you don't see it. It's like you gotta start seeing life on this other level in order to understand life on another level. And so it's like this matters, but it doesn't matter. It's a learning thing. But just like that kid, Jake, when he, you know, he just kept thinking how much he wanted to kill somebody. I just really fantasize about it all the time. That's what I want to do. I just want to go and see what it's like to kill somebody. Like, get fucking Dexter off the motherfucking shows. Get all these motherfucking crazy killers off the fucking TVs. Swear to God. Oh, yeah, it seems interesting. I just really want to see what it's like. I just want to go do it. It's like, fuck. But, you know, it's a part of the storyline. It's part of human storyline. It's part of mankind's existence and what mankind went through and experienced and what they, you know, it's like the depths of where we'll go or something. It's like we have to see. But so, after he did it, then he saw that it was horrible, and he was like just really upset. And but what was done, and so he had already done it, but having to take somebody out while they're fighting for their life and begging and stuff, it made him see that it's horrible. It's not like movie action, just like they try and make, you know, sex this like great thing on there. It's like, it's way more clumsy what they're trying to show on TV. Like, it's all orchestrated. It's like their fucking fight scenes. They come in and have people orchestrate that whole thing. Okay, this is what it's going to look like if you do this. And then when you do this, it's got to look this way. And we got to get it from this angle. Like, everything is orchestrated. The same with the sex, all of it. It's all just an illusion of, it's like programming, though. Programs your open mind, and then they play certain musics and frequency and stuff. Like, the whole thing is so manipulative into mind control, and you gotta really watch out what you watch. But, you know, all these big box office movies that they're just always shoving down these people's throats, and people don't realize, like, it's forming your thoughts, it's creating your vision, and it's initiating your desires. And so, anyways, but so this world is full of life, what it is to be alive. So we get birthed in to experience what it is to be alive. And which, you know, it can be hard and it can also be great. It has two poles, two poles that it goes in between. And it's hard to, when you're ignorant, it's hard to just align yourself to the positive. You can really feel pulled into the negative. That's why we have such a victim mentality in this world. Why everybody's a victim. Everybody's been fucked over. Everybody's been married to a narcissist. Everybody's been beat down, abused, and all this stuff. But that is where they're aligning into the negative. And so, anyways, but there's lessons behind all the different things. Everything is about learning. And so, but when you go and you take somebody else out, even if they were signed up for the part, when you do it, you still have an impact on their existence, their life. So you are cutting something short. So you are going to feel the impact of that. So you go over and you feel the impact of what you've done. And then you don't have the shell that is giving you all these emotions. So you see it from a different, more clear perspective. And so it's very impactful. That's why a lot of people get kind of stuck in this purgatory state, in this healing state, because you have to forgive yourself. You can't just move out into the heavens and the vibration just because you died. You have to forgive yourself. You still have these chains that bind you, these emotional states of being that hold you back. And that is one of the things why I said why you got all these souls that step in to be guides and to help you through your experience, because it is cleansing for them in their experience, because everybody has things they need to cleanse. And then when you cleanse yourself, which we all have always these groups going, and so we have a lot of attachment to all these different groups and people and stuff. And so once you move, so you move out of this realm, then you move into the next one, which is a time of reflection, of looking back, of cleansing yourself. Then it's kind of like it bounces you back into either guiding other people or coming back and being rebirthed into another role, so that you can go and get another lesson to help you cleanse whatever it is, because a lot of stuff is hard to let go of. So it's kind of like you go do this, well then you go in and you're in the purgatory area and you're just feeling horrible about yourself because you can't get over, you know, what you've done. And so then it's like, well, then you need to go back and see it through another perspective. So you go back in order to get another view of things, to get another perspective to help you cleanse the perspective you already had. And so then you go back and then you go through another experience so that you can to see a different one. But the one thing is, because you're the same soul, that is where you develop these patterns where you just keep doing like the same things. That's why I said, when you got to notice when you feel like, oh, I'm just going to do this, question yourself more, because you got to realize that your soul gets stuck in these patterns and you just keep doing the same things. That's why I said you've got all these people who just do, one of them kills one of them and then they come back, and then the other one kills it, and they just go back and forth and back and forth, and they can't break these patterns. They get these feelings and then they have an inner knowing, like, oh, I know you fucking did it, I know, you know, and because it, and then they don't know how to go into more depth into that and be like, oh, well, if I feel like that, then we have a really deep soul connection and we're trying to play something out. So what do I need to do that would feel different? What do I need to do that feels foreign? I'm going to try something different this time. So I'm going to do something that doesn't feel right. And so you can start cleaning up these entanglements that you have, this pain and suffering that you carry from life after life after life. But anyways, but it seems to me that, yeah, that purgatory is like this grand central station of where you come in, you re-go over your life, you see what you've done, the impact that you created, and then you create your own karmic debt, you create your own because what you put out comes back to you. And so you have to go in and set things more straight. So like I said, you go back in and try and guide other people, like say for instance that lady, she could go back now, and once she goes through and sees what she's done, and she's very focused on her 3-year-old and how she's left him, and then what all the occurrences that are going to go through this kid's life from what she did to impact this kid. And so she now is attached to this kid who she kind of follows along through their life, and it kind of is a whisper in the ear, but you have a lot of dark energy that is associated, so those voices will be louder, and it can be like a frustration to the quiet voice, because the ones that are so loud, but it's also in the realm they're in, because the dark has more power in that lower realm, and you're coming from a higher realm. And so she can follow this kid around for her whole life, trying to give guidance, trying to be there for him. And it's almost like a painful thing to watch what the kid goes through, but that is an impact of what you did, and everything you do is going to come back on you. And so it's an experience. It's part of the experience of the whole. It's a part of the whole experience. It's not just one thing. This life that we think is like this, it's your ticket into heaven and sitting with Jesus or whatever the fuck. That it's way bigger than that. It's like people minimize what everything is by such a significant amount. Like it's I wish, I wish you just came in, got born once, you proved yourself. But then look at how many people wouldn't be able to prove themselves. So then it's like, so they're all just thrown to the side. So it's not just a one time, one size fits all situation. It's a long, drawn out experience after experience after experience of you realizing yourself. And so, and she could come back and she could be like, well, I've been trying and trying to be a guide. It's, you can't even hear me. He just struggles with depression and loneliness and abandonment and all these issues that she's created. And so then she's like, well, I'm going to go be birthed back in and become his friend. I'm going to go be birthed back in and become his partner and see what I can do there. But then you get birthed back in and then you forget. You forget why you're there. And then all of the things that you carry, your burdens, start to come out and resurface. And so it's just this, that's why I think a lot of people think like a reincarnation is being a trap, kind of, because it is like this reoccurring cycle. But that's how the universe works, is reoccurring cycles. That it is also opportunities, though, to break free from the cycles. So, gosh dang, my throat, my nose keeps running. So you have these opportunities to break free from the cycles. And that's what I think what is going on right now. And so this ascension concept, which I just saw another video where the people who are waiting for the rapture is about to go down. They're sure the rapture is about to go. The trumpets have blared or something. The rapture is about to go. Jesus is coming. So you got a whole group of people who are, they're packing the bags, ready to go to Jesus. And that's the thing, is like, you can't take your baggage with you. People just think, oh, well, I'm just going to give it to him. Well, so all of y'all are giving your baggage to him? What's he going to do with it? Because he's got someplace to be. So everybody, again, you can't be packing your bags ready to go. You got to be unpacking your bags if you want to go. So, and a lot of people don't want to unpack their bags. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. I don't want to look at that. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to notice, these bad parts of myself. I don't want to see that. Well, that's what you need to do. in order to actually ascend outside of the realms. And so you want to ascend out of this realm, out of the other realm, and go straight ass up into the other one. So that's why it's like a time of reflection. So you're kind of doing the life review work in this one. So you are being more aware, you're being more mindful, you're paying better attention, you are more aware of the universal laws and how to maneuver them. And so it's like you're doing the work of that would be done in the purgatory realm. You're doing the work right now in this realm so that you can kind of skip the purgatory realm and just go straight ass into the higher vibrations. And that's where we go in as creators, where things just begin to happen because you want them to happen. So the good part, confirmation. No, so that's where it's kind of, and I've said this before, that was like we're in the life review now. We're in this healing, reflective time. But so this is the time where you are facing yourself. You are unpacking your bags. And you probably do need to consider past lives and the characters you've played and the impacts you've made. And the people who are in your transits, in your orbit, those people all have different roles. Like you shift your roles around throughout different lives. So those people all have different roles. So be mindful, even if the fucking homeless guy that walks up to your car, don't just roll up your window and be like, fuck that guy. Be mindful. This is a transit. This is somebody who, you know, you could have done something shitty to a long time ago and you just want to redeem yourself. It's just like, well, you know, I don't know what I've ever done to you, but here, take $5. Go get yourself some coffee. Go get a sandwich, which $5 isn't much shit nowadays. But a bag of chips, more unhealthy shit. So, but when you're starving, then, you know, anything helps. So, but also part of starvation is the getting yourself into the concept of you're not starving, that none of this is real. So everybody's got work to do. I mean, there's just no way about it. It's just the way it is. We're in a realm that is based on finding yourself, figuring yourself out, becoming yourself, being yourself, and in this period of time, because it's the end of a cycle, and it's the beginning of a new one. So it's this new opportunity of growth, of seeing yourself. And so that's why I said it's like this, we're in the purgatory stage of looking at yourself through this deeper reflection in order to heal things so that you can move on and go. But see how it has so much about this, not just cutting the ties of like, oh, well, I'm just cutting them off. I'm cutting them off. They're out. They're out. That's not going to do shit. Yeah, that's not going to do shit. You still, okay, then do that and then see where you end up, because you're going to end up right back in purgatory trying to figure out like, okay, well, how do I really fix it then? If that just cutting them off didn't help, because no, there's things that you got to put back in order. You can't just be like, well, I damaged it, but fuck them. It's like, that doesn't work. So, you know, just like this lady, well, fuck that kid. No, that's not how the universe works. Sorry. It is, it's not judging you, but what you put out of order, you had to put back in order. And this down here has got a lot of out of order, and that's why we want to head up to the better ones, the higher realms, because you don't be putting things out of order like that. You are more free flowing. You are more free to exist, free to create, free to experience, and you aren't so bound by the things you've done, because that's why this time is occurring, so you can release the things that you've done, so you can move out of that the chains that bind you and stuff. And how I see it is you know, letting go of how the things that you do to try and please people, the things that you do, you know, the hate, the shame, all of the things that hold you back, are the things that you're releasing now. And so in all your different relationships, and that's why, you know, different people are coming in and out of your life right now. And then you think you've moved through one thing, and then you get a test. You know, something comes back in to test you. It's not just a test. It's just like, okay, well, next level. And then you have to go through the next level, the test. You have to, you know, keep going and keep going and keep going. And a lot of people get beat down. They feel like, man, I just keep healing. And then these people come in and fuck me up. It's like, well, that shows you that you are not healing. It's like you are, it's artificial. And that's the thing with the light and lovers. And so this was something where I was like, okay, I got to explain this more. Because on one hand, I'm saying that don't pay attention. And then on the other hand, I'm saying, well, if you don't pay attention, then you are not getting the full throttle, the full thing. And so the clarity on that. So you, as a being who is trying to ascend, let's say you're on the ascension path, that's your goal, is to ascend. The goal is to get out of this realm, skip that realm, and go right up into the other realm. And so you want to change and go out of these different vibrations and reach the higher vibration of where your higher self is. And so you are and so here in this realm, based on ego and misinformation, you have all these leaders in the spiritual community who tells you just don't pay attention. Don't look at anything you don't want to see. Anything that makes you sad, look away. Don't pay any attention to it. Well, you're then not experiencing your transits, your orbit, your opportunities to purge out these parts of you, because now you have been disconnected from it. So you aren't, your only focus is love and light, which those love and light people are not doing their healing. They are just, they don't want to face anything, so they just keep themselves not facing it. And now they've gone to this other level on the quantum thing. Just focus on what it is you want, and just leave everything else behind. Well, you can't. You cannot just leave everything behind. Who's going to pick up your mess? There's no soul that's coming in to pick up your mess. There's no fucking Jesus coming in to pick up all your bags and carry them off, so he has to deal with your shit. You are the only one who can deal with your shit. You are the only one who can unpack your bags. You are the only one who can deal with your shit. Nobody else can. You are the only savior that you have is you. And so to sit here and think that somebody's coming in and saving you, someone's coming in to fix your shit, is a fantasy life. And that's what they're selling you on this love and light bullshit, is fantasy. You have to face the dark. You have to face your own darkness. You have to mend the relationships that you think are bitter and hard, the ones that trigger you, the ones that are difficult. And it can be deep, deep ones, and they go deeper than the ones that you just experience here. And so you have to be able to face those. Where I'm saying is that the look away kind of thing is more of like, you have to see what there is, but you don't interject yourself, because there's people who interject themselves into such a depth of every little thing that happens. So every bad thing that happens, like this, the kid who's missing right now, who 100% that's a dad. I totally agree. I saw Chandler, or a remote viewer. She said that she went and remote viewed the situation. And she said that the dad, who's very violent, he wanted the woman to cook for him or something. She's holding the baby. He starts punching her and hits the baby and kills the baby. And which I think that's probably, I've thought the whole time that that's probably what happened, is that they killed the baby on accident, and then they just tried to cover it up. And so but he lives a world of violence. He's already got other kids that are damaged. This guy has got no control over his anger or anything. And so there will be repercussions in his soul's existence to what his things that he's done. But she, I think, is more in fear of, like, she's got to go with what he says. But there's a guy who went and took his, and he's got bruises right here, and took his knuckle thing in his ring and took that and turned it in this picture thing. So took it and turned it and put it on her face, and it aligns perfectly. Like, this is this bruise she has, here's the ring, and then right across here is his knuckles. So he just fucking punched her right in the face. And then he even shows, like, all the swelling in her face, where you can see the swelling that's healed, but you can see, like, he just clocked her, and then it caused all of this. And then, you know, whatever, when he clocked her, if he hit back into the kid, because these people don't care if you're holding a baby or whatever. When their anger overrides all things, they don't give a shit. They can't see anything but what's inside of them is fuming, and so they just lose their fucking minds. And so I'm sure, but anyways, so any of these cases, all these cases, people will get so fucking caught up in them. They will be just tore up. You see people is talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Like, people are all talking about that lady now who was on TikTok with her journey about this situation and how she ends and turns it, and you know, it just takes out the whole fucking family except for this one kid. And then but the thing is you can't interject yourself into these things, because it creates so much pain in you and fear, and people start thinking, well, that could happen to me, and it feeds this other energy. And that's where you have to kind of get into observation. You have to get into, these are just these soul stories playing out. I'm just observing what is happening around me, so you don't get yourself caught up emotionally in other people's stories. But that doesn't mean that you bury your head in the sand and you pretend like everything's fine, nothing's going on. No, the world is falling apart. Mankind's story, the history of mankind, is being written, or we're in the experience of the writing of mankind's history. And so, but you know, what level are you going to experience it? Some people, they just want to turn in their head and pretend like nothing's happening. Well, that's not the way to go about it. Some people want to go deep into every little thing. Well, that's going to drain the fuck out of you. And that's why you got to get more into this, like, the higher mind in the universe observes, doesn't judge, it observes. And because there is the laws of the universe, you can't get away from what you've done. So why is it that the universe would need to judge you? You will go in, and it's like a natural order. So what you do follows you. And so there's no reason, but there is an observation, because you learn from all of the things. Everything you see play out teaches you. You see things from different perspectives. You see different situations. That's why you got to work on not being in judgment, because that is going to hold you back. Because this is the thing too, as I was thinking about this yesterday, is how many people won't do something but will judge other people who will. It's like, judgment is just, it's an idiocracy. It's something that keeps you held back, but it's also a challenge to let go. And to me, being very analytical is, and so it can appear to a lot of people as judgment, even sometimes to myself. Am I judging them? But to me, the line is where you start thinking these people have no value. They don't have value, and they're ignorant, stuff like that. But like, a lot of times I'll see something and I'll think, like, well, there could have been a better outcome, could have done this, could have tried that. But see, that can also move you into judgment, but it's also a part of the expansion of your learning, of your possibilities, of seeing more possibilities, of more opportunities. So it's all like these very shades of gray. So it's not a defined thing. That's why you have to steer yourself through this whole experience. It's you who has on the ride, and so you're the one who has to, maneuver yourself through it. And you get too caught up and stuck on different people's stories and stuff, then you find yourself, judging them and thinking, well, they should have done this. They're stupid. That's where you really, I think you need to draw the lines on that, because that's where, you know, I have often found, like, if I get judgmental like that, then something will happen in my life to show me. So then it's like, oh, okay, so yeah, this happened to me and I was going through it. Yeah, it changes how you maneuver through it. And that's why it's pointless for us to sit back and judge somebody. We haven't walked in their shoes. And then also don't get caught up in other people judging you, because they're not walking in your shoes. And it's their issues if they're sitting there judging you. It's not your issue. Your issue is when you get caught up in it and think like, well, how dare you? How dare you think that? It's like, fuck, who cares? Let them do what they want to fucking do. It's their fucking soul journey. And if they think that they can do stuff so better, well, good luck to you, because then you're going to have to go in and experience it. So don't get all bent out of shape, because I know a lot of people, oh, they're judgmental, they judge me and stuff like that. Fuck it. Who cares? Who cares what somebody is looking at? I think that we have opportunities to learn from one another. And so there has to be some kind of a sense of a level of judgment, is like, the analytical sense, the putting pieces together kind of thing, of like looking at things of other possibilities. Well, you could do it that way, but you could also do it this way, but you could also do it that way. You could do it this way, but it's just an opening up of more perspectives. So don't sit there and think, well, they should have done that. They're just dumbass, because you hear people doing that all the time, completely judging people. Well, they should have done it this way. They're too stupid. And that's a part of our world right now that is so divisive. So much as it has to do with judgment, has to do with these ego hierarchy. People think they're better than other people. So much of that. I mean, even this whole fucking movement in the love and light, like, oh, the chosen ones, they're better than everybody else. That is. And where do you even come up with who's the chosen one then? The lady who's already over in the new place, the ones that are here to help, the one, like, it is just roles. It's just roles, and your role has to do with the role you played before, and the role you played before that, and the one before that. It has to do with your learning curve. It has to do with what you're here to experience, because it gives you a full perspective. It gives you a whole picture. And it could be some of the people that are here to help people at this point was because before they were shut down. They didn't get to stand up for themselves. They didn't get to say the truth. They didn't get to do. And so now they get to have a freedom of expression so that they can assist and help people, which that is a lot of motivation right now, is to help people, because we're at that time of the growth, of the ascension, where people feel very motivated to do good work, to be more in service, to help people, because it's just part of the learning and growing kind of part of mankind, of your soul. And so it's, I don't know, there's just so much ego and so much ignorance and so much hatefulness, so much divisiveness, so much compulsion, so much fetish, so much anger. It's like we have that all on steroids. It's all like cranked up, but it's all coming to the surface. So each person that is experiencing it gets an opportunity to be aware of it, so that they can purge it out of themselves. I forgot I had the waves on too. Now I've got to go back onto the waves. Fucking Archie, he is such a he's a terror. Yesterday he's running around. He has my slipper, my old slipper, because I've got a lot of slippers. I got a lot of boots. I got a lot of shoes. I got a lot of clothes. But So he's got this old slipper, and he's over here throwing it around, he's running around like crazy. He goes over and knocks the fan down and breaks it. It's like, oh my God. I was like so irritated. It's like, oh my God, what do you have to just break here? He just goes and sits down. I don't know, because since he's a rescue too, I don't know if he used to get beat or what. But that's the thing, it's like you just don't know about the dogs. Like I know Stella's life, because I've had her since she was a little tiny baby. But these other two, I don't know, you know, was Archie, like when he would, because he's a little wild boy. And did he get smacked down? I don't know. Is he always like, oh, but he's very smart. He's always listening. Boy, that guy is smart and listens. Max is smart, but Max is very driven by his anxiety. And that could be a big part of his puking too. He's feeling anxious. And it could be a part of just feeling whatever's going on in the planet right now. Because like, fuck, man. The discomfort, the feeling of like, the energy and stuff, which there's been shifts on the Schumann, so the energy has increased or something. I saw guys saying it used to be like 7.5 in this thing, and now we're up in the 8s. So it has these big purges of energy that come in, which is going to continue. It's going to continue, and it's going to get crazier and crazier, because there's going to be a huge one when whatever goes down to get these people to see, which there's a lot of things going down. I'm seeing tons and tons of people talking about medbed, Nasarisar, money changing over, all of this stuff. Like there's way more people who have awareness of what's really going on. And way more stuff that Donald's doing. What was it? Now they're saying he's going out to go out into the streets to patrol the streets for crime right now or something. And they're going to go over on Figueroa, which would be, I think it's, what would that be called? It's like the area where you could go get like, it's called something, but it's like where you would go find a bunch of designer houses or whatever, because the whole thing behind fashion and modeling and stuff like that, there is a whole problem with a lot of traffic, and so the roads are full of women out there working, and so they're gonna go and clean it up. So they're gonna go take these women, and so when they go take the women, and they're gonna do a big sweep of it too. So then when they take them and they get them all in there, then they're going to, you know, the arrests will go up, 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 up. And so there's going to be more and more of the big stuff being taken down. And so, and all of them are going to keep linking and linking. The link to islands, the link to rich people, the link to people of power. It's all going to just all keep going together and going together, because it's this intricate web that was woven, and the people who became the weavers of the web were people who were immoral, and they prioritized greed over other people's existence. And so, my goodness, stinky lady, she is so stinky. Just give her a bow. I don't even know, man. I swear to God, it's just this whole thing of fighting the sicknesses and stuff is so exhausting. It's like, oh God, I don't even know if it is a sickness. If she's just a stinky old lady at this point. And Max is just a puker. I'm just going to go get some more of the horse paste. Make sure that I'm getting rid of the things that could be creating the, because if your body is trying to fight bugs, then it depletes the immune system. So in order to decrease the bug, and that's why there's such a problem, why they attack our gut, because then it overruns us, because they attack the good bacteria, leaving the bad bacteria to overgrow, and then that's also where you absorb your nutrition. And so it's that's why they go and attack these certain areas, and then also the filter systems, because they get clogged up with all the toxins and stuff. So that's why you got to do so much for the detoxing. You got to do so much with the cleansing and the killing off the little bugs, and then you got to add in the minerals, because they take that stuff out of the food. And so I don't know, it was her breath or whatever. There's a real stank. She's panting. But also, I don't have the fan on. She's hot as shit all the time. Somebody the other in one of the comments said, because I hadn't gotten one of these comments in a long while, but somebody was like, who's snoring? I used to get those all the time. They're, who's snoring? It's like, keep in mind, she's 100. There's no way she's 165. 165 is her trimmest. So I got to quit saying she's 165, because she's normally 175 or 180. And I would say she definitely is up in that range right now. She's a little chunkster. She's so fucking cute. God, she's the cutest. She's such a... And the way, and she just has these certain ways of looking, and a lot of times she just looks down, like she's not in. She's just the cutest thing. I don't even know. I wish everybody could get to experience what a sweet little girl she is. But anyways, I love her, and I don't ever want to lose her. But I don't know. I'm just hoping that when we get past this thing, and we get to these med beds, and we get to heal ourselves, and we get to go on with our lives and be healthy. But anyways, but that has to do too with your vibration and stuff. And I just say it's really important to work on the things that are the reflective moments of your life. And in a lot of things will lead you into something deeper, where you're like, okay, lady, I'll turn the fan back on in a second. It will lead you back into a more reflection, that you will be like, what the hell is this? Where you have a past life come up, and you're just like, what, am I going crazy? Like, who is this person I'm thinking about? What did they... Okay, just a minute. You know, she smells like cattle. That's what she smells like, cattle. And she's like the size of cattle. But anyways, so not the size of a whole cow. I think those ones are like 700-800 pounds or something. But people are always like, she's the size of a mini horse. So she's a mini horse size. Who I think she's bigger than a mountain lion. But I don't know for sure how big tigers and stuff are. But I know she's been all those things. I know that she was the tiger that killed me. So anyways, but these reflection times, when you go into reflecting on yourself and go deeper into, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And you go into these weird memories, or these weird flashes, or this little picture that pops up in your mind. Don't think you're going crazy. It's just more of your whole soul trying to communicate with you. And you have different associations to your experience now from different lives. And so the more you can delve into the whole vast thing, the more you can heal, and the more you are, in your ascension path. Because that's how I see it, is this ascension is just doing the work that you would be doing when you died. So you're just cleaning shit up, and only you're doing it on a whole nother level. You're doing it with awareness, in the opportunity of having the people still around you, because it's very frustrating when you opt out and you go, or your time is up, and then you go out and you have to review it. You have no way to get back in and fix anything. Right now you do. You have every opportunity, and you have the transits, the people in your orbit. They are here for that. You guys have all heard each other life after life after life. So these are all opportunities for you to really fix things. And a lot of things, they can seem unfixable. But a lot of things is just learning how to let go of shit. It's like, let go of stuff. What are you getting so mad about this? Why are you so mad about that? And look where anger gets you. Anger gets you into fucking murder. It's like, so you don't want to feed the beast. You don't want to feed your impulses. You don't want to feed your fetishes. You don't want to feed your anger. You want to dismantle it, and dismantle all of, your impulses, your fetish. If you were deep into the PORN. You know, you got to dismantle it. You got to work your way backwards. Everything that you, however far you've gone into something, aging, impulses, whatever your thing, however far you've gone into it, you just got to start stepping backwards. Just start going backwards from where you are. It's not like you've failed. This is your opportunity to champion yourself, to pull yourself free. Those are the chains that bind you. Those are the things that hold you back. That's the unlocking the closet, letting the demons out, unpacking the bags. That's what you're doing. And so going backwards from where you are, and then be open to you as a soul, and don't be so in your limitation of this is the only being that you are, is to understand you as the soul is so much more experience, so many more characters. And so be open to that, and start unpacking the bags and letting go of things and moving forward in a different way. And so, you know, it's not like you have to go in and, you know, that doesn't mean you're never going to get upset about stuff either. To me, when you get upset about stuff, I just don't turn it into a battle. I don't turn it into a fight. I just go and sit with it and work my way through it. You know, why is this bothering me? How do I let go of this? Why do I care about this? And just dismantle it. Don't stuff it down. Don't just ignore it. You know, don't hide from it. Don't distract yourself. Don't go do drugs. Don't go get drunk. Go do whatever it is. Just sit with it in reflection and try and understand yourself. And what is your motivation? How can you let go of it? Why are you holding on to it? Why does it matter? And one thing that I think is, it helps, is when you realize all these people that you think are doing you wrong, they're just as broken as you. They're just as lost and confused. So people aren't just hurting you on purpose. They just don't know how to, they just don't know either. It's just like, that's just the world. And so it's not like these people, they know exactly what they're doing. They're just reacting in life. They're just that hurt and broken themselves. And so, you know, it ends up being just all these hurt, broken people hurting each other. Well, that's what you got to pull free from. And that's where you got to just kind of take notice of, like, okay, well, everybody's broken, everybody's hurting, everybody's in pain. It's not like somebody's just in particular trying to victimize me. It's just like people just don't know how to do it. They don't know how to behave. They, you know, they're lost in this game. But that's where the people who do get it together, they're going to go form a whole new world. The people who can't get it together, they're going to go keep going through these ones. There'll be people who'll go into, you know, what you would kind of consider the purgatory realm. And then they'll go in there and they'll play things out in a different way. And then there'll be people who will go play it out in a different way. Everything is just the journey to self, no matter what level you're at or how you go through the levels. It's just always the journey to self. And it seems like the winning thing is when you can connect to the higher vibration of self, and you can move past all of this shit and get into the place where, you know, you're a creator and you're just out there living the life that you want to live. You're out there creating the existence where you're happy and things are going good and you have the things that you want. And that's where it seems that that lady is, and where she said, you know, you eat different, you sleep different, you live different, everything is different. But it's also going to be what is good for you. So what's good for her, what she wants, can be different from what you want. But there will also be alignments of people where you will still have communities where you will go and there'll be a bunch of people who will be in alignment with you, where everybody's kind of wanting the same thing. And so, you know, like I feel like the community where I'll end up will be when there's like socializing, and the socializing will be music and dancing. That's deep in my soul. And so there will be music and dancing and art and creativity. It won't just be one where, you know, people are just in isolation and want to sit by the river all day. But there'll be places like that. It'll just be all calm, and, you know, people just want to go out and climb trees all day or whatever. It's just going to be all different. So it's not like there's just one way to be. There's every possibility of ways to be. So Just don't get caught up in other people's stuff. This is the journey to finding yourself, figuring yourself out, and then, getting to live out your dreams. So, and that's how I see it. So, anyways, let's look at here today. The pumpkin seed oil pills, or whatever they come today. So I'm gonna start those. What's the other thing? I'm starting another thing too. Oh, I'm gonna switch off of the lion's mane powder in my tea and switch into a combo mushroom pill. It's got a whole bunch of different mushrooms, which mushrooms are really there's a lot of benefits to taking. Some people take mushroom gummies and stuff, but these are some kind of pill blend. And then you can also get all the ones in teas, but it gets expensive. If you go buy chaga, and then you go buy lion's mane, and then you get like a whole shit ton. This mushroom pill, I think it's got like, I'll show you when it gets here. So I'll show you tomorrow. And it's got 8 or 10 different mushrooms in it. So anyways, they're expensive still. But that's the journey to your own health. And I swear to God, right now at this point, it's expensive. I feel like so much of my money goes to my own health. But anyways, it's better to be going towards health than sickness. So, because it's like still in the battle of sickness. And we've still got this sickness right here. I think it looks kind of better. I don't know. It goes back and forth. So, I don't know. Eventually, it'll be back to a whole tooth, I'm sure. And until then, just keep working on it. So, the whole thing is just keep working on yourself. Because that's what I see is the most important thing. That's what seems to be lacking in our world. Is everybody hates themselves, and then they think like if they can find somebody to love them, that they'll feel better. It's like, no, it's a facade. What you want to do is figure out how to love yourself. That's the fucking golden ticket. So learn how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, and learn how to have the day you want. I think it's the trifecta to live in the good life. So anyways, but we'll talk about it again tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.